Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, why is it so hard to lose this belly, even though I eat right and walk every day? Or maybe you've seen an old friend from your youth, both of you the same age, but somehow, they look lean, vibrant, and full of life, while you feel like your energy has slowed down. It's not your fault, and it's not just about food or exercise. You see, after 60, your body begins to play by a whole new set of rules. There's a sneaky kind of fat, one you can't pinch, one that hides deep inside your body, wrapping itself around your organs. It's called visceral fat, and it's far more dangerous than the fat you see on your belly or arms. This hidden fat works silently, day after day, tightening its grip on your heart, your liver, even your memory. But here's the truth nobody tells you: you can fight back. And you can do it without starving yourself, running marathons, or giving up the foods you love. Because science now shows that people over 60 can actually shrink visceral fat by up to 90%, naturally. No gimmicks. No crazy pills. Just small, smart changes that flip a switch inside your body and tell your fat, it's time to go. Now, imagine this: waking up, looking in the mirror, and seeing your belly slowly flattening, not because you're dieting, but because your body is finally working with you, not against you. Your clothes fit better. You move easier. You breathe deeper. You feel younger, not in your age, but in your spirit. That's what today's video is all about. You're going to discover what visceral fat really is, how it behaves differently once you hit your 60s, and 5 proven, science-backed habits that can help you melt it away safely and naturally. These are habits anyone can do, even if you've tried everything before and nothing seemed to work. So, don't go anywhere. Every second of this video could be the turning point for your health, your energy, and even the way you age. And before we dive in, do something simple but powerful: comment "I'm ready for a change" below. Because acknowledging that first step means you've already started your journey. And if you want to keep learning simple, life-changing ways to stay strong, active, and healthy after 60, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now and join our community here at Senior Health Wisdom, where growing older doesn't mean slowing down, it means getting wiser about your health. Now, let's get into it. Because what you're about to learn might just change how you see your body, and your future, forever. Now, let's start with one of the most powerful, and most overlooked, habits that can change everything about how your body stores fat: your mornings. Picture this: it's early morning. The sun is barely up. Margaret, 67, sits by the window with a cup of coffee, catching up on the morning news. She skips breakfast because she's heard that fasting helps burn fat faster. She's proud of her discipline. But as she sips that coffee, unaware, her body is quietly doing something else entirely. It's holding on to fat, and not just any fat, the kind that sits deep around her organs. You see, right when you wake up, your body releases a natural hormone called cortisol. It's your wake-up hormone, the thing that gets you alert and ready to face the day. But here's the tricky part: when cortisol stays high for too long, it becomes a silent fat trapper. It tells your body, we might be in danger, better store some extra energy. And where does that extra energy go? Straight to your belly. Straight into visceral fat. Now, caffeine on an empty stomach, especially if you're over 60, can make cortisol spike even higher. And if you skip breakfast right after that, your body thinks you're in survival mode. It slows your metabolism, clings to fat, and tells your brain, hold off on burning anything just yet. So even though Margaret feels like she's being healthy, her body is actually doing the exact opposite of what she wants. It's protecting her, but in the wrong way. Here's the science behind it: as we age, our cortisol rhythms shift. In your younger years, your body can handle those spikes better. But after 60, cortisol becomes more sensitive, meaning it rises higher and stays longer. Add caffeine, stress, or long fasting hours, and you've built the perfect storm for stubborn visceral fat. Now, let's talk about a big misconception. You've probably heard that skipping breakfast helps you lose weight. For younger people, maybe it works for a while. But for older adults, the body reacts differently. Instead of burning fat, it starts breaking down muscle, which actually slows your metabolism even more. And that's why so many people over 60 say, no matter what I do, the weight just won't budge. So what can you do instead? Here's the secret: it's not about eating a huge breakfast. It's about starting your morning right. When you wake up, before reaching for your phone or turning on the news, take a few deep breaths. Step outside if you can. Let your body feel the morning air. A short 10-minute walk, even just around your living room, tells your brain, I'm safe. I'm moving. I don't need to store fat. Then, instead of skipping breakfast entirely, try something simple, a small, protein-rich meal. Maybe a boiled egg with a few slices of avocado, or a cup of Greek yogurt with some berries. That little bit of protein signals your body to lower cortisol and raise a different hormone, insulin sensitivity, which helps your body burn fat instead of storing it. And here's the amazing part: when you start your morning this way, you actually reprogram your metabolism for the entire day. You're telling your body, we're calm. We're nourished. We can start burning energy. It's not about perfection, it's about rhythm. A calm, fed body is a fat-burning body. So, the next time you wake up and reach for that cup of coffee, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, am I starting my day with stress, or with balance? Because the answer to that one question might determine whether your body stores fat, or starts to let it go. And speaking of hormones, what you do at night might be an even bigger secret weapon against visceral fat. Let's move to something most people never connect with weight loss: sleep. You might not think of your bedtime as a fat-burning moment, but here's where the magic really happens. Think about James. He's 72, retired, and for years he couldn't figure out why his belly kept growing even though he ate light and walked every day. Then, one simple change: he decided to sleep an hour longer each night. No new diet. No new workout. Just a little more rest. A month later, he noticed something: his pants fit looser, his energy was back, and for the first time in years, he woke up feeling refreshed. What changed? Science has the answer. When you're in deep sleep, your body does far more than rest, it repairs. It releases growth hormone and melatonin, two key players that tell your body, now's the time to burn fat, not store it. Growth hormone rebuilds muscle tissue and melts visceral fat from the inside, while melatonin balances your metabolism, keeping your internal clock in sync. But here's the catch: when you don't get enough quality sleep, your body does the exact opposite. It raises insulin and a hunger hormone called ghrelin, which makes you crave sweets and heavy foods the next day. At the same time, it lowers leptin, the hormone that tells you when you're full. The result? You wake up tired, hungry, and your body goes straight into fat storage mode. Now, here's where it hits close to home. Many people over 60 believe they just don't need much sleep anymore. Maybe they wake up at 3 a.m. and think, well, I'm old, that's just how it is. But that's not true. Your body still needs rest. It just needs help finding its rhythm again. Poor sleep doesn't mean your body needs less, it means it's struggling to produce the hormones that help you burn fat and stay young. If you've ever noticed how your belly seems more bloated after a few nights of poor sleep, that's not your imagination. It's your body's chemistry shifting. The less you rest, the more your metabolism slows, and the more your body clings to visceral fat as protection. So what can you do to fix it? It's simpler than you think. Start by setting a sleep routine, not just a bedtime. Turn off screens and bright lights at least an hour before you lie down. The blue light from phones and TVs tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, blocking melatonin, your natural sleep hormone. Keep your bedroom dark and cool. Studies show a cooler environment not only helps you fall asleep faster but also increases brown fat activity. That's the good fat that burns calories while you sleep. If you struggle to wind down, try a small magnesium supplement or a cup of chamomile tea before bed. Magnesium calms your nervous system and supports deep, restorative sleep. And for many seniors, a gentle routine, like stretching, slow breathing, or even soft music, helps the body transition from alertness to calmness. And here's something fascinating: deep sleep isn't just about how long you rest, but how deeply your body enters repair mode. That's when visceral fat gets broken down, energy balance is restored, and you wake up lighter, calmer, and sharper. So tonight, instead of pushing through another late show or scrolling through your phone, think about James, and what one extra hour of sleep did for him. Sometimes, the best thing you can do for your waistline is simply close your eyes and let your body do what it was designed to do: heal. Now, we've talked about your mornings and your nights. But there's something even sneakier happening in between. It's what you're eating, and it might not be as healthy as you think. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest traps most people fall into, and they don't even realize it. It's something that hides behind bright packaging and comforting words like low-fat, heart-healthy, or natural. Think of Susan. She's 68, and after her last checkup, her doctor told her to watch her sugar intake. So, she made what she thought were smart swaps. She traded her soda for orange juice, her white bread for granola bars, and her desserts for fruit smoothies. She felt proud of her choices. But a few months later, her belly still looked the same, if not a little rounder. Her energy dropped, and she couldn't understand why. What Susan didn't know, and what so many people don't, is that sugar doesn't always look like sugar. It hides in so-called healthy foods, quietly feeding visceral fat from the inside out. You see, your body doesn't care what the label says, whether it's organic, natural, or low-fat. Once it enters your bloodstream, sugar is sugar. And your liver processes it the same way. Here's how it works: when you eat foods high in sugar, even natural sugars from juice, honey, or healthy snacks, your blood sugar spikes. In response, your body releases insulin, a hormone that helps move sugar from your blood into your cells. But when insulin stays high for too long, it flips a switch. It tells your body to store fat instead of burn it. And where does most of that fat end up? Around your belly, deep inside, surrounding your organs, the dangerous kind we call visceral fat. Over time, this hidden fat becomes dense, stubborn, and incredibly hard to lose. It affects your hormones, slows your metabolism, and even increases inflammation throughout your body. Now, here's the misconception that catches almost everyone. People say, it's just fruit sugar, it's natural, so it's fine. But the truth is, your liver doesn't care where that sugar came from. Whether it's from a piece of cake or a tall glass of orange juice, too much sugar gets stored the same way as fat. And it's not just the obvious culprits. Many diet and low-fat products are packed with hidden sugars to make up for flavor. Yogurts, salad dressings, cereals, even soups, they often have more sugar than a donut. That's why so many seniors trying to eat healthy are unknowingly feeding the very fat they're trying to lose. But here's the good news: you can turn this around fast. Start by focusing on whole foods, the kind that don't come with a barcode. Fill your plate with vegetables, lean proteins like fish or chicken, and fiber-rich carbs such as oats, beans, or sweet potatoes. These foods keep your blood sugar steady, your insulin low, and your body in fat-burning mode. If you crave something sweet, go for fresh fruit, not juice. The fiber in whole fruit slows sugar absorption and keeps you feeling full. And instead of sipping on juices or sweet teas, try lemon water, herbal tea, or even green tea. Green tea, especially, contains compounds that help your liver break down fat and calm inflammation. And here's a little trick: after every meal, drink a glass of water with a splash of apple cider vinegar. It helps control blood sugar spikes and supports digestion, a small habit that can make a big difference over time. You don't have to cut out every sweet thing from your life. You just have to become aware, to understand how your body responds. Because when you know better, you do better. And once your insulin calms down, your body naturally starts unlocking stored fat, even the deep visceral kind. So the next time you reach for something labeled healthy, take a second look. Ask yourself, is this feeding me, or feeding my belly fat? That one small pause could change everything. But here's the thing, food is only half the battle. There's another part of the equation that most people completely overlook, and it has nothing to do with diets or gym workouts. It's all about movement, the kind of movement that works with your body, not against it. Now, let's move from what's on your plate to what you do after the plate is clean. You see, the secret isn't in running marathons or lifting heavy weights. It's something much simpler, something that anyone, at any age, can do. Robert, 64, had tried everything. Treadmills, crunches, even resistance bands. But his knees hurt, his back ached, and nothing seemed to work. He felt discouraged, until he tried something almost too simple to believe: 10-minute walks after meals. No sweat, no strain. Just walking slowly around his living room, his garden, or down the block after each meal. Within a few weeks, something began to shift. His belly started to flatten, his digestion improved, and his blood sugar readings, once sky-high, dropped back to normal. So, what's the magic here? Why does this tiny habit make such a big difference? Here's the science. When you eat, your blood sugar naturally rises. Your body releases insulin to help store that sugar as energy. But when you sit still after eating, that energy often gets stored as fat, especially in the belly. Now, here's where movement changes everything. Walking after a meal helps your muscles use that glucose immediately, before it has a chance to be stored. Your body turns the food you just ate into fuel, not fat. And studies confirm this. Walking for just 10 minutes after eating can reduce visceral fat more effectively than a 45-minute gym workout done later in the day. It's low intensity but high reward, the perfect combination for aging bodies. Yet, so many seniors fall into a dangerous misconception. They believe they have to push themselves hard, that only intense exercise burns fat. But here's the truth, overtraining can actually backfire. When you push too hard, your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone. High cortisol tells your body to hold on to fat, especially around your belly. So, instead of burning fat, your body clings to it, protecting itself from what it perceives as stress. That's why gentle, consistent movement is far more effective, especially for older adults. It calms your nervous system, keeps your blood sugar steady, and activates enzymes that help your body burn fat steadily throughout the day. So here's your practical takeaway. After every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, take a 10-minute stroll. You don't need fancy shoes or a gym membership. Walk around your living room. Step outside into the sunlight. Move slowly, breathe deeply, and let your body process what you've just eaten. It's simple, but powerful. And if you keep this up for just 2 weeks, you'll feel the difference. Lighter digestion, more energy, and a flatter, calmer belly. But there's another piece of the puzzle, something inside you that controls not just your digestion, but your metabolism, your cravings, and even your mood. It's your gut. Let's talk about the hidden ecosystem inside your body, the one that quietly determines whether your food becomes fuel or fat. Meet Linda, 70. She'd always struggled with bloating and sugar cravings. She wasn't eating terribly, but she couldn't seem to lose the extra belly fat that clung to her waist. Then, her nutritionist suggested something simple: add one probiotic-rich food to her daily routine. So she began eating a small bowl of yogurt, the kind filled with live cultures, after lunch every day. Months passed. Slowly, Linda noticed her belly felt lighter. Her cravings faded. Even her mood lifted. And the best part? Her belly fat began to melt away, without changing much else in her routine. So what happened? It wasn't magic. It was microbiology. Inside your gut live trillions of bacteria, some good, some bad. These tiny organisms control digestion, inflammation, and even how your body stores fat. When the bad bacteria dominate, they trigger inflammation, slow your metabolism, and send signals that make you crave sugar and refined carbs. But when the good bacteria thrive, everything changes. Your body digests food more efficiently. It burns energy instead of storing it. Your inflammation drops, and your hormones, including those that control appetite, start working in your favor again. That's why gut health isn't just about avoiding indigestion. It's about transforming how your body manages fat. And yet, many people still believe probiotics are just for digestion. They think of them as something you take when you're bloated or on antibiotics. But research shows they do much more. They directly influence how fat is stored and how efficiently your body uses energy. So how can you support this hidden fat-burning system inside you? It's surprisingly easy. Start adding fermented foods to your meals, things like kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, or probiotic yogurt. These foods replenish the good bacteria your body needs. And don't forget fiber. Good bacteria feed on fiber, especially the kind found in vegetables, beans, oats, and fruits. When you combine probiotics, the good bacteria, with fiber, their food, you create the perfect environment for a healthy gut, one that helps burn fat and reduce inflammation. Even small habits matter. A spoonful of sauerkraut with lunch. A glass of kefir after dinner. Or a handful of berries with oatmeal in the morning. Do this consistently, and over time, your gut flora shifts, and your metabolism follows. And as your belly begins to shrink, something deeper happens too. You start feeling calmer, more balanced, and in control. Because a healthy gut doesn't just affect your body, it affects your brain, your mood, and your motivation. Now that we've connected the dots between food, movement, and gut health, it's time to go even deeper, into the emotional core of transformation. Because no habit, no meal, no walk truly sticks until it connects with something inside you. So let's talk about that final, often overlooked ingredient in lasting change, the emotional connection that fuels every healthy choice. Growing older changes how you see yourself. You look in the mirror and sometimes wonder, when did this happen? The lines, the slower mornings, the little aches that used to fade but now stay a bit longer. It can feel discouraging, can't it? Like time has taken something from you that you can't get back. But here's the truth, you still have control. The science is on your side. Your body isn't broken. It's responding exactly as it's designed to. And the moment you start listening to it, truly listening, everything begins to shift. You're not fighting age. You're working with it. You're learning to understand what your body has been trying to tell you for years, that healing doesn't stop at 60, 70, or even 80. It's a lifelong conversation between you and your body. Every walk you take in the quiet of the evening, every mindful meal you prepare, every deep breath you take before your morning coffee, these are not small things. These are signals of healing. They're your body's way of saying, thank you. Because here's what most people forget, your body still wants to heal. It still wants to burn fat, balance hormones, and keep your heart strong. It just needs your permission. So tonight, start small. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for Monday or next month. Maybe it's a simple walk after dinner, letting the air fill your lungs while you think about what's possible. Maybe it's replacing that evening soda with a glass of water and a quiet promise to yourself, I'm taking back my health. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. Because the smallest step, the tiniest act of consistency, could spark the biggest change in how you look, how you feel, and how you live. Even if you've struggled for years, even if you've tried and given up before, it's not too late. It never was. Your body isn't waiting for the right diet or the next pill. It's waiting for you, to believe again, to care again, to move again. And when you do, everything starts to come alive again. Let's take a quick moment to recap what we've learned today, because these 5 steps could truly transform your health from the inside out. First, lower your morning stress. Before you sip that coffee or scroll through the news, breathe. Reset your cortisol and set the tone for your day. Second, sleep deeply. Let your body repair while you rest. Quality sleep burns more fat than most workouts ever will. Third, avoid hidden sugars. Cut the fruit juices, skip the low-fat snacks, and stick with real, whole foods. Fourth, move after meals. A simple 10-minute walk after eating helps your body use energy instead of storing it. And fifth, nourish your gut. Feed your microbiome with fiber and fermented food so it can help your body fight inflammation and melt away visceral fat naturally. These aren't trends. They're time-tested, science-backed habits that can reduce visceral fat by up to 90%, especially when practiced together. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these habits do you already practice? Or maybe, which one are you planning to start tonight? Tell me in the comments, because your story could inspire someone else to take their first step too. If this video helped you understand your body a little better, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Join our growing community here at Senior Health Wisdom, where every week we share simple, science-backed tips to help you stay strong, sharp, and full of life, no matter your age. And if this message touched something in you today, give it a like, not just for the algorithm, but as a quiet promise to yourself, that you're choosing health, peace, and longevity over fear and frustration. Thank you for spending this time with me, my friend. Remember, health isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Stay wise, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.